And staying safe starts at home.
Nice.
From how we work and learn, to the little ways we find joy. If you must head out, take extra care. Making a small effort, being mindful, they go a long way to keeping us all safe. The health of all depends on each one of us. So let's work together, using new tools and keeping to our new habits to protect the people we love. At work, let's all be good team players.
Hi, morning. How are you? Good.
A little distance between us today will be good for us all tomorrow. A little care can protect the one thing that means the world to us. So let's do our part.
The views and opinions expressed by the speaker, host, commentator, or other third party in Ariva webinars, e-learning events, and/or virtual masterclass are those of the speaker, host, commentator, or third party and do not necessarily reflect and represent the views and opinions of Ariva. Furthermore, Ariva does not warrant, express, or imply the merchantability and fitness for a particular purpose of any product information, service, or process presented by the speaker, host, commentator, or third party, and Ariva specifically disclaims any legal liability or responsibility for the accuracy, completeness, or usefulness of any product information, service, or process presented. Finally, material or information presentation, opinion, process, or service by, on any trade name, trademark, manufacturer, or otherwise during Ariva webinars, e-learning events, and/or virtual masterclass do not constitute or imply Ariva's endorsement or recommendation of such opinion, process, service, item, or organization.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Ariva Academy's free live webinar, Successfully Managing People, Team Dynamics in a Hybrid Work Environment. I'm Kate, and I will be with you, learning with you, and of course, I will also be your host today. So I'm excited to be with everyone. But before I introduce our speaker, I have a few reminders for everyone, just to make sure that this webinar will run smoothly. Ariva is committed to protecting your privacy, hence stricter security of this webinar has been implemented. So for better viewing of your Zoom experience, we encourage you to please update your Zoom application by visiting their website. And for those of you who are using their mobile gadgets to view the webinar, please go to Google Play Store if you have an Android phone, or for those of you who are using their iPhones, you can go to the Apple Store so you can download and install the Zoom app. Now, I want to know who here is attending an Ariva Academy webinar for the first time. Can you type hi in the chat box? We are 300 plus right now, and we're still expecting more. I want to know who here is a first timer. Hi, Tessa, Jonathan. Good morning, Aris, Israel, Louie, Gerald, Richard, Liza. Wow, we have a lot of first timers. Good morning, Daniel. Magandang umaga, Christopher and Ruel and Maricel. Art, Crispina, Romel, good morning to you. Hi, June, Kate, Daniel, Joshua. Hi, Rosaline, Donato. Wow, we really have a lot of first-timers. Welcome to Ariva Academy, and we are looking forward to be welcoming you again in our future learning events. Now, I want to do an audio check. I want to make sure that once our speaker is on screen, you will be able to hear her discussion clearly. So, can you type 111 if you can hear me clearly? Type 111 in the chat box. There you go. I'm seeing a lot of 111s. You can also type 222 if you can't hear me, or 2121. If you can hear me but the sound is breaking up, I sound robotic or laggy or choppy, you can type 2121 and question mark if you don't understand anything so that we can help you out. I think I've seen someone type 2121. Please have your audio checked, the gadget of your audio checked. Ask assistance if you can, so that marinig ninyo ng maayos yung discussion later. We don't want you to miss any part of that discussion. Thank you so much. Later, we'll have a 5-minute break and I'll announce that, and something exciting will happen during that time. There will also be a bit of announcement, so watch out for that. Now, participants' microphones will be temporarily disabled by our administrator during the discussion to avoid interruptions. But for those of you who might have questions, we'll allot a Q&A portion. During that time, you can click your raise hand, and then the administrator will enable you to unmute yourself and you can ask your question directly to our speaker. Or for those of you who have pressing questions and you don't want to forget them, you can also type that in the type your questions in the chat box, and then I'll be reading them during our Q&A portion. E-certificates of attendance will be awarded to participants who will successfully complete the entire virtual masterclass, and they will be available 3 to 5 days after the e-learning session. Now, please help us build and improve our service with your comments and feedback. We will greatly appreciate that. You can scan this QR code, and then at the end of our session, fill out the form so that we will receive it. We will also be posting a link to the feedback form before we end our session later. So just click that link and then fill out the forms and then send it back to us. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm sure you're all eager to start listening to our speakers. So now let me introduce her. Our speaker is a people-centric executive with 20 plus years of experience who has started from the ranks and became successful in the field of outsourcing, insurance, and telecommunications. She is currently in transition to her passion, which is human resource. She had invested in her learnings through SHRM and has achieved the highest form of a certification given to HR professionals by SHRM, the Senior Certified Professional. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our speaker, the Chief People Officer of Home Credit Philippines, Miss Alpha Omega Aquino. Good morning, Miss Alpha.
Hi, good morning, Kate. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Wow, ang dami nating attendees, Kate. 4,000 na.
Yes. And I think there's still more coming.
Wow, perfect. So let me start by sharing my screen and let me know if you can see it. Kita na ba, Kate?
Yes, we can see it now.
Okay, full view with a red thingy, the Team Dynamics hybrid work arrangement. Good. Okay. So let me start by, since we have quite a number of newbies in our Ariva conversation right now, I would like to introduce myself first. So let me start by saying that, yes, I am Alpha Omega Aquino. You heard it right. Alpha Omega. Totoong pangalan po yan. Hindi po siya code name. I always get that every time I introduce myself. So my parents, I guess, especially my father, was a huge fan of Greek mythology. I'm sure you know what the name or what the words means. I am the eldest in the family, and my parents maybe thought that, I'll be the first and the last. That's why the name. Since my mother had a difficult time giving birth to me, she was 21 when she had me, so very, very young. But wait, there's more. More kasi apat pa sila. So there's 4 more siblings whose names are also Greek. I'll discuss that in another set of conversation because medyo mahabang kwento yun. I've started my career in the call center industry and was privileged to work overseas for almost 15 years. I worked in Singapore, Vietnam, Thailand, and Indonesia. So I spent almost 10 years in Indonesia, being able to work in 3 companies there. I speak very fluent Bahasa Indonesia, or what's the dialect in Indonesia basically. And normally I would introduce myself by saying, I'm the Filipina, kasi Aquino yung apelido ko, who looks like a Singaporean. I'm Chinese, but speaks fluent Bahasa, so 3 in 1. And I was managing APAC before when I was in Indonesia. So best way to be successful, I guess, working overseas, just a tip is to learn the culture and the language, which did me well. So I put here, I'm the family driver. So family driver ako kasi ako lang yung driver sa family namin. I'm sure some of you would be able to relate anong sinasabi ko. So before we start, there's just very simple house rules lang ako, so that we can maximize this moment, this time that we have with each other. So stop, look, and listen. Parang tumatawid lang sa rilis ng tren, di ba? So stop whatever that you're doing. Wag po tayong multitask, and maximize your time with us, especially for the newbies, by being engaged in the chats or ask questions as we go along. Look out for any ideas as we share this time together. And lastly, listen with intent and interest. Since the moment that you woke up, you decided to show up this morning, and thank you, by the way, for doing so, it meant that this hour or so is for you. So please feel free to share comments as well as your ideas. Baka mamaya ma-trigger yung ideas nyo as I go and discuss mine. And share with them, share with us as well. I mean, feel free. I mean, this is all of us, 4,000 participants. That's quite a lot of people sharing their ideas. Because, they say that he who is everywhere is nowhere. So, dito lang po tayo. Konti lang po to, and then I'm sure you will enjoy the conversation. So, we'll be talking about managing hybrid teams. And just to let you know, I, together with the HR heroes of Home Credit, as what I call the teams, is in a work mode pa, work in progress pa tong aming hybrid. So, as we do our tasks and responsibilities, we try as much as possible to adjust and be more relevant. So I'll be sharing with you in the next hour or so the process of thinking and how our team has thrived in 2021. with some of these tips that I hope will help you navigate as well into making your hybrid management work for you. Hybrid, by the way, in my talk means that um, it's working in the office for a day or so, similar to what I am doing now. So I'm in the office, by the way. Our office is in BGC Ore. And couple of days or 3 days anywhere. I don't call it work from home na because you can literally work anywhere, provided you obviously have an internet or very good infrastructure. So before we dive into these tips, I have one very, very serious question. Kasi nakita na natin na nag-work yung keyboards niyo and chat button, no? Very serious question, and I need you to put that in the chat button, please. Ano ba tong serious question na pinagsasabi ni Alpha? Very simple lang po. Ano po ba yung kanta? What's the song that best described your 2021? Kung may mga hugot, okay lang po yun. Or lyrics of a song that resonated well with you. Valentine's is coming. So Kate, dapat may pa-Valentine's tayo mamaya. And I'm sure you are navigating or gravitating towards some of the songs and the lyrics. And it might be a song from Encanto. It might be the theme song of your favorite K-drama. So chat it away. So let's see, what's your song of the year? Ako po, ang kanta ko, ng 2021, kanta ni Taylor Swift, Shake It Off. Kasi ang daming mga ganap, so talagang kinakanta ko na lang yon, Shake It Off. Okay lang yon, then move on na lang. Let's see what we have here. I Will Survive, and I hope you did. Heal the World, Thank You Lord, All Summer Long, If We Hold On. O sigurado, babangon tayo. Magaganda itong mga kantang ito. Kung pwede lang natin pakanta mamaya, papakanta natin mamaya, Kate. Kate, how about you? Ano bang song of 2021 mo? Or lyrics? Nakaka-relate ka ba, Kate? Superman, fight song with a smile.
Yes, Miss Alpha.
Parang nabigla si Kate, ha? Kanta? Ano ba yun? Meron ka bang fave song, Kate?
Yes. Meron po. Is it supposed to be a love song?
Hindi naman, wag
Hindi
naman. Ang dami nila, With a Smile, You Brought Us Out, so very similar song.
Ano ba yung fave
What's
song?
your song?
Napaisip ko lang. It's actually very simple. You Are My Sunshine, that song.
Wow.
I always sing that to my son. It's
Nice.
our song. Yes, that's my favorite.
Thank you. Wow, ang cute naman ito. Magtanim ay di biro. Plantito for sure. And I'm sure maganda yung mga halaman mo. So thank you for indulging me. So since music made us all survive and thrive, I'm sure, every time that you feel bad, you feel sad, you feel excited, song, you always remember that. So it had helped me also personally to be motivated. So for this morning, I would like to share my tips through a playlist. Okay, maglala, hindi to mahaba. Apat na song. And I'm sure you will know who my favorite singer is at the end of my presentation. So let's get on with it. So let's have the topics now. So my playlist revolves around the 4 things that we had done and the process that we are currently doing still as we navigate through this hybrid environment. So what are these topics? So trust, change, time and effort, and getting real. So let's start with the very easy but very difficult topic, trust. Hirap to. So just a brief background, Home Credit Philippines found me in November 2018, a year and a half after I came home from Indonesia. So I was in Indonesia for more than 10 years. Umuwi po ako ng 2017. Decided na, okay na, tama na, dito na ako sa Philippines to serve my country. So, but I didn't work agad-agad. So I had to do what I needed to do. I went to SHRM certification. I had some engagements with Ariva during that time. And then after 1.5 years, they found me. And April 1, 2019, I was hired as their head of talent acquisition. So recruitment yung una kong trabaho. On March 1, 2020, I got promoted as a chief people officer. March 16, alam nyo na kung ano nangyari. We had the lockdown. So can you imagine what is running into my head during that time? Did I make the right decision? Was the promotion a blessing or a curse? We have over 12,000 employees in our company across the Philippines. And almost 6,000 of them were deployed in shopping malls, and they are our sales advisors. Pag nakakakita po kayo ng home credit uniform na nasa shopping malls, empleyado po namin sila. They are all our employees. So to make the matter worse, during the 2020, the country and the whole world didn't know what to do. So, and the lockdown prolonged what we had, and unfortunately, we had to make very tough decision back then to survive. And the HR team was in the center of these very, very difficult events alongside with the leaders. So fast forward na po tayo, 2021 brought hope. And we went on to getting back what we had lost slowly but surely. So we have rehired some of the people that we lost during the 2020. Then 2022 naman nangyari. Despite the setback of January 2022, yung alert 3 natin ng January, I still believe that, we should trust the people that they will do the right thing. Nagawa na natin noong 2020, nung nag-hybrid tayo, di ba? So I'm sure we can do it, and we can continuously and sustain doing it. But it's not that easy. So maybe let's go to the mentee. If you can help me with our mentee. So I just wanted to know muna sa inyo, how would you rate the psychological safety in your teams right now? If you don't have a team and you're still looking for your next adventure or next job, maybe in your family, 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest, and let's do and see the results.
Okay,
so let's have a minute.
Yeah, for mentee, you can go to www.mentee.com and use the code 851-7107. Again, 851-7107. There. Try to go to the website, guys, for your participants so that makasama kayo dito.
Yep. So we will know ano bang status ng 4,000 people na nasa participant natin.
Yes.
1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest. Psychological safety po. Then I'll explain ano ba itong psychological safety. So, let's see muna.
Again, the website, www.mentee.com. Code 851-7107. 851-7107. Ayan. Keep your answers coming.
Keep your answers coming, and then keep this website kasi we will have a couple more questions after this one.
Mm-hmm. Ayan. Marami rin ang nasa chat box.
Yeah, thank you. So I think I saw chat box na 3 and 4 Nasa 3 and 4. So we are in the middle. Playing there. So not too much, not too little, which I'm very, very happy, honestly. So the 3.5, 3.4, even 4 is the best, especially with all the uncertainties and all. So thank you for indulging me to do this with you. Okay. So maybe let's go back.
Here in the mentee.com is 3.4, Miss Alpha.
Okay, perfect. So, okay. So let's go to the presentation again, if you can see my deck. So it's about 3.4. Perfect.
Yes.
Okay. So now that you rated 3.4, 3.5, eto na yung first lyrics ng ating song number 1. I had no time to choose. So go easy on me. Can you guess the title and the singer of the song? And just chat it in your chat box. Nahulaan ba? Did you guess it?
You're still on the mentee page.
Oh.
Yeah, we can't see the slide yet.
Oh, sorry. So,
but a lot of our participants are guessing already.
Talaga.
Yes.
Okay, let me just maybe I have to reshare my screen again,
Letter C. Para di makita natin kung tama ang mga hula ng ating participants.
Yep. Tama.
It's actually just one song and one singer.
Yep.
Yan
So
ang
one song, yep, one song and one singer, basically. So
they're all typing one song and just one singer.
yeah, perfect.
Okay.
So can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can see it. And mukhang
So
tama.
for sure, nahulaan nyo. I'm sure it's kanta nyo rin yan. No? So due to what's happening, so it's Ease on Me by Adele. Perfect. So what's happening across the world, the family and the company, it's important to establish psychological safety. Ito yung parating nakakata. Ano ka lang, easy lang naman. Wag masyado, di ba? Konti-konti lang. So ano ba yung psychological safety? So psychological safety is being able to show and employ oneself without the fear of negative consequences of self-image, status, or career. It can be defined as a shared belief that the team is safe for interpersonal risk-taking by show of emoticons naman. Emoticons naman tayo. Do you agree that psychological safety is needed but difficult to achieve? So pa-confetti naman tayo. Tignan natin yung mga emoticons ninyo. Master na kayo ng Zoom pagkatapos nitong meeting natin. So do you agree that psychological safety is difficult, but difficult to achieve? Yep, it is. So because of our diverse upbringing, because of the nature and nurture, our varying beliefs of what is right and fair, our different interests on why we should do what we need to do, it makes it all difficult. Diba during the pandemic, ang tawag natin, we flexed, we adapted, we solved so many challenging problems. We rallied under emergency conditions at the beginning of the pandemic. However, our confidence and sense of security was shaken by all the professional and personal disruptions. I'm sure makaka-relate kayo. We have all felt, ako rin, we felt the emotional strain during this pandemic, which lingers hanggang ngayon, especially as business uncertainties continue. So we basically know working with others under pressure, especially virtually, creates tension and conflict. Parang virtual na nga may conflict pa. Kasi mas mahirap magpa-schedule ngayon, makipag-usap sa mga tao. Unlike dati, punta ka lang dun sa kwarto niya, alam mo na kung libre siya o hindi. Now we have to schedule everything, but we're getting on with it. So it's important to support the well-being of our employees through employee engagement and performance. So the most effective method, as we all know, is recognizing the person in public. Mas impactful siya. Mahirap siyang gawin, pero there are some suggested tips on how we can do it. So ano ba tong tips na to? So if you can see it, sabi nila, let's make our psychological safety explicit. Siya yung priority, not just in professional, but also in our personal lives. Facilitate everyone to speak up. So sa weekly meeting ko with my HR direct reports, I have 10 of them. Before the meeting starts, I do 15 minutes connect. Ako kasi connect before content. So connect muna ako before I do my content. It can vary from simple asking, how was your week? How was your weekend? Go around the table. Show and tell, kahit virtually. And by the way, I'm doing my meetings now either face-to-face, and some of my teammates cannot make it sa face-to-face. So nasa bahay sila, tapos nasa office yung iba, then we do that also simultaneously. So we do also show and tell. So you can find anything within your reach. And I suggest you do it with a small group para lahat makapag-participate. So, that's facilitating. Number 3 is establish norms on how failure is being handled. Walang sigurado ngayong panahon na to. No matter how good the plan is, it will be one way or the other kulang, kapos, short of expectation. It didn't work. Hindi ganon ang inisip ko, bakit ganon yung nangyari? So when that happens, take the courage to speak up kung ikaw yung may kasalanan. Even bosses needs to say, sorry po, ibahin po natin. And empathy naman, kung hindi man ikaw yung nagkamali, let's have that empathy to focus on the gaps. Ano ba yung nangyari? And let's help to resolve it. We don't learn by always being right. And we have to accept that fact. Number 4, let's create the space for ideas kahit wild ones. Mas gusto ko nga yung wild eh. Wild meaning, it's not your normal. Hindi naman yung sobrang wild. Baka naman matawag na tayo ng ano natin. Sino mo tumatawag sa HR pag nagkamali sa HR? Siyempre yung pinaka-boss ko na, no? Light bulbs, eureka moments are a great time for team bonding. Virtually, it's even more possible. That's how I see it. Kasi I have all of them with me eh. I ask them to use their chat platforms to create a group. We use MS Teams in our company. So we have chat groups or teams within that. And then we do chats like kahit wala lang. We just do, parang kinakausap ko lang sila even if they're virtually doing. And ang maganda doon, an idea day can be created. And my first topic back then was, how can we make our virtual meetings fun? You don't need to think everything for your team. Engage your team to think and share with you as well. So that's how we do create and collaborate, diba? Number 5 is embrace it. Embrace productive conflicts. So I would rather have conflicts upfront than a smiling face sa meeting. Tapos pagkatalikod, hate blind items na nasa Facebook pa. So kung hindi ko siya friend, so hindi ko malalaman. It takes a lot of time and effort. But, it can be done. Hindi naman siya imposible. It just takes time. And I'm sure we are all experiencing that. Ganun talaga eh. That's, us embracing the diversity of the thinking and talents of our employees. That's how we must start doing it. So just sharing with you, communicate, communicate, communicate. It will never, never be enough. And these are some of the programs that we have done virtually with and for our teams. Actually, I have one ongoing right now. So, multitasking ako. So I have a health talk, happens to be coinciding with this talk as well. May health talk na yan. So we are inviting our HMO provider to talk about tong Omicron, yung vaccine. So we have those topics as well. Communication will never be enough. So as much as you can, please do share what the employees need to know. So meron ding recognition dito na makikita ninyo, and we invite people. And if you notice it, may mga programs na specific for certain roles, like itong no glitch. So specifically, it's for our IT and analyst team. So that's how we do it. And by the way, all of these creative posters that you see are being done by our creative team as well as our employer branding people. So that's trust, establishing the environment for people to be creative, for people to be honest, and for people to come forward. It's not easy because we Filipinos, and not just Filipinos, Asians, ganun talaga tayo eh. It would take a while for us to trust and say what we wanted to say to the managers. And that's fine. It's a process, and definitely we will get there. At yung susunod na topic na medyo mas mabigat kesa sa trust, and that's change. People were very scared to change until year 2020, March happened. Ayaw natin ng lahat. Ayaw natin magpa-work from home kasi gusto ko nakikita kita. Ngayon, nasan sila? Nasa bahay, nasa kung saan. We cannot do anything. Health is a priority and their safety is our priority. That's what we are saying in our company. I guess for this next slide, para hindi na tayo mahirapan sa Menti, because this question is also for that. Maybe in our chat, so I can see it na lang, Kate, and I will not go toggle here and there in the screen. So what's the first word that comes to mind when you hear the word change? Ano po yung unang word na pumapasok sa utak ninyo? Nung nakita niyo yung poster kanina, yung slide ko kanina, what's the first word that comes to mind when you see change? It's new, it's growth, adjustment, risk, flexibility, adaptation, process. Ang bibilis yung mag-type.
Oo nga, ang bilis.
Salamat sa ano bang internet ang gamit ninyo?
New, bago, diversion, reluctance, adjustment, improvement, best, challenge, wow, not usual, difficult, for the better, innovation, uncomfortable and painful. Ooh. Opportunity, scary, coping up, resistance, challenge, transition, welcome. Wow.
So, sana all welcome,
Yeah.
and share.
That's beautiful. Fear. There's also fear. Out of comfort zone. I have to agree with that. Enhancement opportunities. Growing pains. Adaptation. Ayan.
Wow, thank you po. Maraming salamat po sa mabilis na internet at nakapag-participate po kayo sa chat. Mabilis pag-chat no? Sabi ko, chat na lang. Sorry, Jeff, i-chat ko na lang to kasi mabilis sila. So, siguro magtataka kayo, ano na kaya yung susunod na playlist ni Alpha pag-change? So, yung lyrics that I find appropriate when I was like looking at my favorite songs nitong aking favorite singer, this was the lyrics that I found. Sabi niya, I don't need your honesty. It's already in your eyes and I'm sure my eyes, they speak for me. Ano pong kanta to, mga kapatid? Kumakanta na iba dyan. Ang galing naman ni Ate Mary Jane. Adele, All I Ask. Tama po. So All I Ask by Adele. Because, it's tough to make these changes until we are all forced to adapt and do so. Sabi nila, may mga bagong trends po according to Gartner. Now, I'll share that with you. Ano ba tong 9 future work trends that, change our lives completely when 2020 kicked in? Kaya ko po yung sinabing all I ask kasi, we have to be honest. Ito na to eh. Ito na to. Ano ba yung work trends na sinasabi? So there are 9 future work trends post-COVID-19. Parang hindi pa rin posted, no? Kasi meron pa rin eh. Ano ba yung long-term implications nito, specifically for our HR people, our HR friends? So we have seen continuously that this will evolve. I'm sure most of these trends resonates well with all of you. We engaged our ingenuity, sobrang to adapt into our emergency conditions. So sa amin, we implemented digital platforms na dati ayaw, or wala tayong pera, but we have to do what we need to do. We suddenly reviewed all our processes, automated and updated our workflows. In many cases, tama yung sagot niyo, transformation. We transformed part of our business to keep going and make progress. Before the pandemic, we resisted most of these trends for future of work. But there are 3 sets of it as what they had suggested. Meron tinatawag na accelerated, new impacts, pendulum swings. Ano ba tong accelerated changes? So most of the employees, or more employees rather, are working remotely. Hindi na work from home ang tawag, remotely, kahit saan, pwede. There's increased use of employee data. The role of the employer now becomes more of a social safety net. There's a wider use of contingent worker. Ano pong ibig sabihin ng contingent worker? Ito po yung mga gig workers, part-times, entrepreneurs. Hindi sila part hindi siya contractual eh. But you only need the service. And then after that, we have quite a number of that in our marketing team as well. So the creatives team, we have those types of workers as well. Ano yung new impacts na sinasabi? The critical skills are no longer synonymous with roles. Dati, pag sinabi mo sa TA mo or sa recruiter mo, kailangan ko ng analyst. Ngayon, ang dami. Ano pong analyst ang kailangan? So, the skills are more important than the job title now. Kasi the job title does not necessarily define what the person needs to do or expected to do. We now are being asked, especially for the recruitment, I'm sure mararamdaman nyo to recruit unicorns. Ano ba unicorns? So they are impossible to find, but apparently they do exist, and they do. Some employees find work more humanizing in crisis. Unfortunately, some dehumanizing. Kasi nawawala yung care, kasi trabaho lang, hindi na nagkakaroon ng, hindi mo kasi naiintindihan eh, may mga ganun na tayo, and that's very tough. So the crisis response distinguishes top-tier employer brands. Sino ba itong mga to? Ito yung mga top 5 companies or top 10 companies sa Philippines that, they have the money, the bandwidth to do all the things that they had to do. We did what we needed to do based on what we can, and we're trying as much as we can. I'm sure we all are. Pendulum swings. Anong ibig sabihin to? Nagbabago siya. So sometimes organizations prioritizes resilience as much as efficiency. Tapos babalik na naman, efficiency na naman. Ano ba talaga, di ba? But, we have to adapt what we need to do. And then the crisis also adds complexity to the organizational design, straining the design of who does what. the culture and the value proposition as well. We're suddenly in the face of grappling for ano bang gagawin ko, ano bang gagawin ko. So this tip that goes in my next slide. Paano ba? Ano ba yung new imperative? So we have to identify the future work trends that are most relevant to our business. So you may start with, ano ba yung kailangan natin based on our business goal? So based on the data, and again, the data suddenly becomes very, very important. Data is the new oil nga, di ba? You cannot make decisions out of the whims and out of, gusto ko lang eh. No, it's not that easy anymore. So have that data in your company. Then after that, funneled into ano ba yung scenario na kailangan kong gamitin to that will impact us. Then strategic planning will have to come. And then will support the business. So I can give you one example sa amin. So HR, for example. So we do have this leaves, right? We have the sick leave and the vacation leave. In 2020, that distinction became blurred kasi naubos na yung vacation leave at yung sick leave dahil nagka-COVID. So we added this extended COVID sick leave as a benefit to the employee who got sick positive of COVID. Para lang, our intention is para lang mabayaran. Kasi for some of us, it's no work, no pay, right? When your leave is exhausted, then that's it. Ano na siya, leave without pay na. That happened in 2021. In 2021, we pivoted. We see ano ba yung mas kailangan, ano ba yung mas sustainable na dapat natin gawin sa employee. Then we look at it, binloy naman pala natin yung sick leave at vacation leave, It doesn't matter na kung, kasi, honestly speaking, guys, pag nagsisick leave si employee, hindi naman, ginagamit naman nila yon or ginagamit naman ng most of them, hindi dahil may sakit sila, di ba? Kasi, nandun na. For them, it's something that is being given to me, so kahit wala akong sakit, gamitin ko na. So, kunyari, magsisick leave si Besh, pero hindi naman, nasa bakasyon siya or nasa bahay lang siya, chill lang siya. Or nagme-mental break, which is fine. So when we look at it, ganun din naman eh. It's for them. So in 2020, and it was a long process, by the way. Ano ba to? Balik-balik na baka abusuhin, baka ano. We decided to convert everything as wellness leave. So wellness leave, what does it mean? So in 2022, yung mga empleyado who has, for example, may 5 days sick leave ka, 5 days vacation leave ka, ginawa namin siyang 10. And we call it wellness leave. So that means that you can use those leaves for any purpose that you would like. Whether you're sick or whether you want to take that vacation, 10 days is now the wellness leave that you have. We gave it to employees who are, by the way, vaccinated. Kasi gusto namin na gawin siyang motivation. Gawin siyang, kung ano kasi it's provided. We cannot have this virus arrested if not all of us are vaccinated. We respect those who doesn't want to do. Ganun pa rin, 5 days pa rin. Nothing changed, walang minus. But for those who took the effort to be part of that solution na, okay, magpabakuna ko because it doesn't prohibit me naman eh. So we gave that privilege. So fortunately for our company, we're 90%, more than 90% vaccinated na. So I was very proud to do this. And then it has been approved. To top it all, we also added one additional leave, and we call it the personal holiday. So birthday leave siya. So why am I saying this? Ang dami kasing dapat gawin. Especially sa HR, we have to adapt it, di ba? Talent war is there, and then your people are having all this mental breaks. So let's do something, focus on them, and be more relevant. So we thresh out all the noises. Mahal to, hindi to pwede. Ano ba yung pwedeng gawin natin? Let's look at what we have, and we did. And when we funneled it through and made the business case out of it, that prove that people are already using it anyway. So no question na baka abusuhin. Ginagamit na nila and for sure ginagamit nila. But it doesn't change also that, at the end of the year, if you don't use your 5 days leave, we still convert it or we encash it to cash your vacation leave. So now it's called the wellness leave, right? So yung ganon, very simple, but very difficult to justify, I guess, and especially for my organization, dahil hindi siya normal. But, it's for the people. So all the executives agreed to make that happen. And that's how we did identify it. Kung hindi namin ginawa yun, can you imagine, January of 2021, ang daming nagkasakit. Kasi naman December, kung saan tayo nagpunta, di ba? So, January, maraming nagkasakit. Fortunately, not as serious as what we had in 2021 or 2020. So if they didn't have that wellness leave, wala na silang leave. So we anticipated, fortunately we did well, anticipated, but ako personally, I didn't want them to use it for them being sick. I wanted them to use those 10 days leaves for their wellness and not for them getting well because they got sick. So it's how we want to do it, and it's how we have been doing it. And that's basically the change of mindset, the transformation that we have done after creating the environment of trust and then having those changes. Kasi mataas yung psychological safety nga that we can do this thing, and we trust that people, our employees, will do the right thing and will not abuse whatever benefits or whatever perks that we are reinventing or recreating for that purpose. And that's for the change. So let's go to the third topic. So maybe before I go to the third topic, Kate, do you want to do that 5-minute break now? So it wouldn't be.
Yes, we can have that. We can have our 5-minute break right now. I'll just inform our technical director, Jeff. Let's get ready for it. So thank you, Ms. Alpha. We'll see you after 5 minutes. Yep. Now to our dear participants, I said something exciting will be happening right now. And here it is, because we are playing a game this morning. And I am in the mood to give away prizes. Ayan. What am I giving? To our two lucky winners, you will be receiving 200 pesos from Ariva Academy. Agang pa-Valentine's gift ng Ariva to our participants. So here goes. The game is called Guess the Movie. I'm bringing you back to the cinema this time. So this is how it goes. We will be showing short clips or short trailers of a certain film. Ayan, maraming excited sa ating participants. Ayan. Mukhang maraming movie buffs here. So, yes, we'll be showing short clips, and ang gagawin niyo is you have to be the first one in the chat box to type the correct and complete title of that movie. Again, correct and complete title, even the spelling dapat tama. Okay, for you guys to get a feel of this game, let us do a trial run. Trial run pa lang to, wala pa tong prize, pero I want you guys to guess the title of the movie already. So let's watch the first film.
Walang yan driver yon? Muntik pa tayong banggain? Ming, patay yung makina. Alam kong patay. Nainggit ka. Gusto mo sabay mamatay? Hindi. Ming. Ming. Ikaw pala ang mingming ng mingming? Akala ko motor na?
May tatanong ako!
Ano itatanong mo na naman?
Anar kaya yan?
Paano aandar to? Ming. Pusa ba ako? Tawag sa akin, pusa ba ako?
Okay. Marami ang nagsabi na they don't know it. Classic. But some of you try to guess it. Let me see yung mga answers na ibinigay ninyo. Merong nagsabi ng Body and Soul. Habababadu. Puti, putupu. Medyo mahirap yung basahin. What else? The other answers. Body and Soul. Sino ito? Tatlong tatay kong pakitong-kitong. Ang dami yung may nagre-request Hollywood films na lang daw. I Do, I Die. Pusa ba ako? Let us reveal. What is the title of that movie? I Do, I Die. Diyos ko die. Merong nagsabi, si Joanne, ng I Do, I Die, pero kulang. Sabi ko nga, it has to be the complete title. But don't worry guys, this is just the trial run. Okay, trial run pa lang naman to. Pero sayang Joanne, no? You were very, very close already. So that is how the game goes. We'll show the clip while the film is showing. You can already type your answers. Don't worry if sa tingin ninyo yung naunang nag-type, tama yung sagot niya. Malay mo may maling spelling or may kulang na word. Kailangan talaga complete ng title. Just keep on typing your answers. And who knows, you might be our first winner of the 200 pesos. So, I hope you're game already. This is the first clip that will give you 200 pesos. Let's watch it.
Pero gano'n naman talaga, di ba? Lahat ng nagmamahal nagpapakatanga. Kaya tanga na kong tanga, pero mahal kita! Wag sana lumayo ka na lang. Sana umiwas ka na lang, maiintindihan ko ba yun? Pero bang sinota mo ako eh. Sinota mo ang best friend mo. At nung bumalik si Ana, ipinatalo mo ang lahat. Ipinatalo mo lahat, pati ako.
Okay, wow, that was heavy. Let us see, and ang daming ninyo sumasagot talaga. Let's check the chat box before we reveal the answer. Maraming nagsabi na paano na kaya, but there are several who said, my Chinita girl, bride for rent, crazy for you, till my heart aches end. Sana maulit muli. Parang medyo mayroong godoy. Parang medyo may mga nako-confuse. Well, let us reveal what is the correct title. And it is, Paano na kaya? So, let me check lang sa chat box. Who was the first one who typed it correctly? The first one who said, Paano na kaya is, we have our first winner. We have Nicole Robin. Congratulations, Nicole. There. Nicole, you will be getting 200 pesos from Ariva Academy. This is what you have to do to get that. Send your GCash account number to us directly, privately in the chat box. Send it either to me or to Ariva Academy Philippines in the chat box. Send it to us privately so that we can send you your Valentine's gift, your 200 pesos. Thank you so much, Nicole. Now, because you've won already, let's give the rest of the participants also a chance, another chance to get the prize. Okay, so you won't be able to join anymore, but feel free to watch with us. Thank you and congratulations, Nicole. Now to the rest of the participants, don't worry, I still have one more Valentine's gift to give away. So let us watch the next film.
Am I not enough? May kulang ba sa akin? May mali ba sa akin? Pangit ba ako? Pangit ba ang katawan ko? Kapalit-palit ba ako? Then why? Bakit mo ako nagawang lokohin?
Medyo heavy ang ating mga movies na pinapakita. Perfect lang yata for Valentine's. Para dyan sa may mga hugot. Let us see the answers that we got. Marami sa inyo ang nagsabi, my ex and Y's. But there are some who said, maybe this time, my XY. Okay, may iba-iba ha. My X and Y's. Merong my X and Y. Merong my XY. Alone together. Every day, I love you. What are the other answers? There. Okay, so, pero mas marami si my X and Y's. Let us see. Let's reveal what is the complete title. It is My X and Y's. Pero, ito ay walang apostrophe S. So yan, ang difference. And the first one who typed it correctly, we have, let me check. Karina Ann Edralin. Congratulations, Karina. You are getting the 200 pesos from Ariva as our Valentine's gift to you. Congratulations, Karina. And wow, congratulations to all of our winners. Karina, this is what you have to do also. Please send your GCash account number to us privately, either to me or to Ariva Academy Philippines here in the chat box. Send it to us privately, and you'll be receiving your 200 pesos in a little while. Congratulations, Nicole and Karina. And to all of our participants, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Medyo meron na kayong idea kung anong papanoorin natin sa Valentine's Day. And thank you so much. Now I'm moving on with my next announcement. Thank you again to our participants. There. And kung gusto ninyong manalo sa next na ating mga games, join our next webinars. Who knows, you also will get a chance to bring home a prize from Ariva. So here goes. Let me just show my presentation. There. Stay on top of our insights and updates. Stay connected. Visit us on social media. Join Ariva Academy's Facebook group. Also like Ariva Academy's Facebook page. Follow Ariva Academy in LinkedIn. And also visit our website, www.ariva.com.ph. And for those of you who might have missed the free live webinars that we had during the start of the pandemic, you can all watch them in our YouTube channels. Subscribe to our YouTube channels also and click the bell button so that whenever a new video is uploaded, you'll be notified. Ariva Academy YouTube channel and Ariva Talks YouTube channel. I also would like to invite you to some of our upcoming online learning sessions. Here they are. Next week, we have for February 10, Managing Tax Assessment, how to prepare for BIR tax audit, and how to handle BIR tax assessment. Job contracting and subcontracting, outsourcing, the legal way to prevent labor problems. This will be on February 11. Feb 16, the 5th effective technical and report writing skills for peak performance excellence. Leadership, navigating the transition from staff member to supervisor. This will be on Feb 18. On February 23, the 3rd computerized accounting system, BIR compliance for medium and large taxpayers. On February 24, Success Essentials of Management and Leadership, develop strong leadership and business acumen. February 24 also, Legal Implications of Hiring and Managing Remote Workers, Strategies to Hire, Manage, and Engage Remote Employees. On Wednesday, March 30, we have another free live webinar, so take note of this. We have Safety Works, Health and Safety Work Environment, Mitigating and Preventing the Spread of COVID-19 in the Workplace. Very timely still, because we're still here in the pandemic. So again, this is on March 30, so take note of that. And for those of you who are looking for a speaker to conduct a program exclusive for their team, Ariva Academy can help you with your in-house virtual training needs. Just send a message to the number flash on your screen, or give that number a call, or send an email to irish.arivaacademy@gmail.com, and we'll help you out with that. Okay, so now let us go back to our discussion. Hi, Miss Alpha. We're ready to listen to you again. There.
Hi, Kate. Hindi ko nahulaan yung mga movie. Ano ba yun?
Same po tayo actually. Hindi ko
Galing naman ang
napapanood yung mga
nag-refer.
movies.
Pero in fairness talaga, consistent ang internet ng mga participants natin. Ang bilis mag-type kahit na mahaba yung title ng ano. Okay. Thank you. So we're back to our regular programming. Let's see. Ano na ba tong topic na ito? Time and effort, perfect. So kakagawa nyo lang ng inyong time and effort para mag-guess at maglaro. So again, thank you for participating and engaging. We are on our second half of the presentation, and I would gladly welcome questions later on after we finish the presentation. So sabi nga natin, trust, psychological safety, and then change really is inevitable. We resisted it, but we did it. And we will continuously do it kahit na mahirap. My boss always tells me that, as we change the tire while the car is running, you will need all the time, effort, and commitment to make it happen because conditions, especially now, remains to be unpredictable. So may question po ulit ako, and you can say the name of the person, what the person does, dahil in all those things that we are doing and about to do, we really need, and I'm sure you did have this person in your lives, in our lives. So, sino ba? Who has been your mentor, either personal or professional, that has helped you navigate towards this crisis, this pandemic, work-wise, personal-wise? Let's give a shout out to those people or profession. You can type it into your chat box, and let's see who they are. Wow. Supervisor.
Oh, a lot of answers. A lot of them are saying my mom, Miss Alpha. Wow. Parents, their boss, their manager, my nanay, the Lord, my dad, Papa, Mancom, department manager, my husband, my father and my former head, my college professor.
Wow.
Top management, their boss, si bro. Okay, someone named yung kanilang, my AOM, Arlene Molina and Audrey Santos. Wow, may pa-shout out.
Oo, baka umattend si boss. Baka kasama niya umattend, Kate.
Naririnig niya. Our CEO, Julita Nazar. Ayan. My manager, Chinky Tan. Oh. My
Diba sabi natin,
siblings.
best recognition is really now, impact. Kung kasama nyo sila ngayon amongst the 4,000 that are attending our live webinar, then why not, just shout it out and tell them, thank them that, they have been with you and your mentor. Because honestly, we don't want the next lyrics of this song to be a song that will be sang to us by someone because we just didn't do it right, or worse, we don't want to sing this song to either the company or personal life that we have. Ano ba tong lyrics na to, Alpha? Ang lyrics po niya ay ito. So don't forget, I beg, I remember you said, sometimes it lasts but sometimes it hurts instead. Parang team song to ng mga recruiters, no? Parang ito yung parating kinakanta. So ano pong kanta ito again? I'm sure alam nyo to. Someone like
Adele ulit.
Hindi ba obvious, kuya, na ito nga favorite song ko eh. So yes, someone like you. Ayaw nating sabihin to, and ayaw din natin tong sabihin sa atin at sabihin natin, di ba? We all try our best to be the leaders we need to be, so our talents and us will not sing this song as we go through the tough times. Bakit ba? Ba't ko ba ito nasabi? Kasi sabi sa survey ni Gartner, ito po. It's a fact, that unfortunately, 44% of our employees, not 100%, not 50% man lang, trust that the leaders can navigate the crisis well. The toughest journey that we have in our company was actually the initial shock of 2020, March. End of 2020, we felt excitement and optimism that things will be better. And we know better, di ba? Hindi natin alam kung anong gagawin natin in 2020. Pero in 2021, medyo alam ko na to. We hoped that things will be better. We transformed our business, specifically ours. We executed technology that we said we will not execute for the next 3 years, but we did it in, say, 3, 4, 5 months. And we did what we needed to do where we can afford it. However, we also know that, we saw some skills gap amongst our employees. Suddenly, the roles that they play, the skills that they have became obsolete. Not their fault, not anyone's fault. It's just that the dynamics of the business, the world has evolved and has changed. So in early 2021, we talked about mental health na, and empathy. I think that's one characteristic that should not go away and should be part and parcel of who we are as a person and also as a professional. So we have this sinasabi dito na, the empathy, ano ba yung empathy-driven managers or leaders? Sino ba sila? So they are those that prioritize people over process. They are the ones who embrace the growth mindset. They are the ones who create transparency. They ask, they don't just tell. And then they safeguard, obviously, the confidentiality of whatever that you share. Again, psychological safety, right? And they contextualize employee mindset. So with these things, there are also barriers that surrounds it. Ano ba tong barriers na sinasabi? Ang common barriers nito, it's not because we don't want it, but because the person or the leader might lack skill, the mindset is different, and the capacity to do it is not there. Mahirap. Ano ba yung sabi skill? Hindi, may mga tao talaga na it doesn't come to them naturally. Might be because, again, of nature and nurture. The mindset is, bakit ako ang kailangan? May sarili rin akong problema. So that's a mindset of again, nature and nurture. And obviously the capacity, because everybody started doing what they needed to do, either to survive, to thrive. Kaya may I will survive kanina maybe dun sa song natin, no? I'm already overloaded. Tapos, saan ako maghaharap ng oras para kumustahin yung tao? But sabi nga nila, di ba, pag gusto may paraan, pag ayaw maraming dahilan. We will find time if we know that it is important. And it is important. So just to share with you, from day one of the tenure of the Microsoft CEO, Satya Nadella, he embraced empathy as an integral to his business strategy and believes that it has been instrumental to his success, increasing the value of the company significantly since his appointment in 2014 hanggang ngayon, di ba? Especially now, I mean, Microsoft has its 365 MS Teams. They recently launched Viva, which is the employee insighting of what the employee experience is, because he believes that nothing has more positive and productive effect than the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes. Suddenly, walang mayaman, walang mahirap pag nagka-COVID, right? Everybody got sick. Everybody is well. Everybody's coping. So we also can benefit from that empathy to understand people's perspective and experiences, whether our clients or customers, our co-workers, our partners or vendors across all the ecosystem. So the more strategic we are in how we integrate it and use empathy, the better our relationships will be. And the results in our professional life as well as personal life will be very, very significant. It's quite difficult to say that, I guess, or do that. We all will say na madaling sabihin, mahirap gawin, because we are also in our circumstance. Hindi ba parating it's easier for us to say na, okay, let's be grateful even though we're experiencing. But where else do we want to go, right? It's either you count your blessing and you see every day as a blessing rather than just look at it as, oh my God, ito na naman. Because for sure, there are people who's better than us, but there are also people who's worse than us. So might as well, whatever capacity that we can, then we just have to be kind as managers, not just as leaders, but because, we are people. We need to be as such so that everybody will exist. Sabi nga, di ba, the positive thing about this pandemic is that hindi lang Pilipinas yung nakaka-experience, hindi lang city yung nakaka-experience, it's the whole world who are encountering it, because suddenly the world was halted into a stop. But now, we're recovering, we're trying to do what we can, we're being more intelligent to what we can do, and that's just it. It will really take time and effort to do it, especially us leaders. We cannot give what we don't have. So it's good that you guys are attending this session and the future sessions of Ariva. Please do so if you have the time. Find time, by the way, not if you have the time. Find time to do it, kasi it's the law of the lid. You cannot give what you don't have. So you have to start filling your cup with all these conversations. And then as you give to your employees, so you start filling as well. And it doesn't go one way lang. I always say that, learning to share and then sharing to learn. That's how we manage to do what we need to do, because I get a lot of ideas from our employees. I don't think it, and neither does my boss. We all share in this common goal of, making other people's lives as well as ours be better. So with all these talks, last topic would be, let's get real. So ano ba tong let's get real? This question, please again, indulge me, chat away. Ano bang importante sa'yo? Sabi nga, kanino, ano ka gumigising? Para kanino, para saan ka gumigising sa umaga? In the 2.5 years of roller coaster ride, lockdown, hindi lockdown, si ano ang suddenly you realize that's important to you? And maybe to you too as well, Kate. Oh, loved ones.
Okay, we are seeing a lot of answers again. Family and overall health, self, dogs, family and dogs, family and my child, God and family, health and family, career, family and our health. Okay, so it's Menti here, www.menti.com. Use the code again, 851-7107. Again, go to the website, www.menti.com. Here's the code, 851-7107. Ayan, we're seeing it here. So also, instead of just typing in the chat box, since mabibilis naman ang internet connection ng ating participants, go to www.menti.com. We'll see it here. 851-7107. Ayan, family and myself. Dream, career, and family. God and family. My children. Stability. Yan, nakita ko nag-answer ng stability. Pero the biggest ones na nakikita ninyo sa screen nyo, yan yung mas marami ang sumasagot. So, the bigger the letter, yun yung mas marami ang sumasagot. So, marami ang sumasagot ng family and God and family. Faith, time for my loved ones. Self and family. Job, security. I saw a word there, sanity. May sumagot ng sanity. Okay, medyo nakakahilo pala siya. Goal, career, merong husband. Wow, meron talaga very specific husband niya. Family and my dogs. My child. Myself. Yes, myself. Health. Wealth. Mental health. Wow, may sumagot myself on mental health.
Yeah,
dream, career, and family. My family and kids. What else?
Thank you.
There. Well, thank you so much, our dear participants.
Thank you, participants. So, you see, I mean, yun nga, diba? We are all different. We are all coming from different walks of life and circumstances, and yet 4,000 of us shares the same thing. I would say the same thing as well. I mean, my family, my siblings, most especially, has helped me survive this pandemic. Especially if you're in HR, and for some of us, shout out sa mga HR dyan. My goodness, ang gagaling nyo. Thank you. Kung hindi dahil sa mga HR peeps natin dyan, I don't think, and the leaders who are supporting the HR people, maraming salamat. If not for them, I don't think we would be able to do what we are doing and be successful with it. So, on to my last and final song, I guess, lyrics. So, alam niyo na si Adele ang aking favorite. So, this is what we want to say, di ba? Sana sa COVID, I was wondering if after all these years you'd like to meet to go over everything. They say that time's supposed to heal you, but I ain't that much healing. So I'm sure sa utak ninyo biglang kumanta ng hello. Yun yung gusto nating sabihin na it's me. Yeah. Sabi ni COVID hindi nga eh. So it seems that, it's deja vu again, 2022. Wag naman po sana. Sabi 2022. But we must admit, like the song Adele, Hello, from the other side, since now, guys, we should know better. So ano ba yung sinasabi we should know better? Ang HR dati, di ba we were saying na we want to have the sit at the table, we want to have the voice in the boardroom, and all. We did. We did that. 2020, nagbago bigla ang mundo. Everybody, like specifically, I personally am speaking with in my company. I'm sure you have experienced that too. Sa atin sila bigla nagpuntahan na ano nang gagawin namin? HR, ano nang gagawin natin? Ano nang gagawin? Safety, security ng mga empleyado, ano nang gagawin natin? So everybody starts coming to us, and we leveraged that, I guess, to be part of the business. And true enough, this is how it went for us. Based on the survey across the globe, Gartner, this is how our HR leaders see business priorities for 2022. Dito na tayo. Let's go to the present now. So according to Gartner, operational excellence, business-wise, still comes as a priority. However, we now see that HR needs to execute business transformation. Kasali na tayo. Kasama tayo, HR people. We have gained our seat and the voice at the table for HR to execute business strategies. Sa totoo lang, I mean, how many apps sa atin, mga HR, have you started using over the recent years to run your life or do your job? You have learned new skills, biglang naging best friend mo sa YouTube kasi kailangan mong matuto magpa-upskill. Kung wala tayong Udemy course kasi medyo mahal siya, let's go YouTube and then we'll learn a lot. We learn a lot for our target customers, which is our employees. Anong social media platform, software, or payment system nang ginagamit natin in 2017 versus now? Ang laki-laki na ng pagbabago. So how do you connect and intersect with them? We are all adapting and learning these new platforms and learning new skills. Ang bibilis yung mag-type, di ba? At a very faster pace. The half-life of skills, nasabi natin, tsaka ko na matututunan yan. Yung 10 years, naging 5 years, naging 5 months, naging 5 minutes. Ang parati nating sinasabi ngayon, kakaiba na, di ba? You're on mute, the call got disconnected, the picture froze. What's the password? I can find the link. I can access the file. Kakaiba na. Or set-updated file. Hindi mga ganun yung mga tanong natin noon eh. We struggle sometimes, yes, admittedly, to use this work platform and applications, but the capacities and capabilities that technology now affords us are extraordinary, facilitating our working lives in so many ways, especially allowing us greater flexibility to work where and when and what we want to do so we can engage and perform our best. So, ito na yung tinatawag natin na ano na ba yung landscape ng natin, ng company natin? What's becoming of our work landscape? So, hybrid for most of the company, including ours, is the way to go. Ganon yung ginagawa namin. We do have people who's permanently, or because of the role, needs to permanently work on site, like our sales advisors, our collectors, our call center employees, like 20-30% of them are in our offices, primarily because yung infrastructure nila sa bahay, unfortunately, is not supporting that need for them to function well. So we have started doing all those stuff since 2020. We have even pushed forward to it. Overall, like what I mentioned, our company is at 90% vaccination rate na. So we started considering this hybrid work. Kudos to the facilities team, of course, who make sure that our offices are disinfected, clean twice a day. Ginagawa nila ate at nila kuya because they see people coming in. We are not spared as well with the rising of the competition of the talents as we see more talents opting, and I'm sure kayo din, either to take a mental break, be entrepreneur, yung mga online sellers natin, and then we also see them just leaving without a job because they wanted to take care of their family, and that's fine, Companies now has a focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion. I'm sure naririnig nyo yan parate. And it's becoming more and more relevant now, not just in the Philippines, but across the globe. When we talk about the diversity, by the way, it's not about the gender. Hindi lang yon, hindi lang yung nationality. I mean, I have 12 nationalities in my company right now. Our head office is in Prague. I have different types of people. So diversity can only means in age. So may millennial tayo, may boomers tayo, may Gen Z tayo. And also in terms of knowledge, the people are coming from different industry, and that's the talent and that they bring to the table. Now, yun na, okay na. So equity naman and inclusion, yung kailangan nating gawin. So the pandemic accelerated the integration of technology into critical operations, such as, automating mundane tasks, increasing safety by digitizing manual hands-off, puro well, not everything, kasi may mga, pa rin tayo, government offices pa rin tayo na kailangan ng wet signature, and that's what it is right now. For the meantime, I'm sure we are in the process of automating those handoffs as well, and then creating storage, more and more storage in the cloud, in what we need to do. In all of this aspect, ang pinaka-importante and critical again is the development of the leaders who are managing it. So just sharing with you some of the things that we do in the company. So these are some of the programs that we are implementing in our company, focusing the leadership development as well as employee experience. Pag nakikita nyo yung nag-aano dyan na GIF, it's our campaign, Come Home. We call it Come Home. So meaning inviting people to come back to the office when it's safe for them as well as for the community. So come is it's an acronym for come on site, meet everyone. And then home is obviously home credit. It's a program that our branding team created primarily because we know and understand that sometimes some work needs to be in the office. We don't encourage that, you come to the office, naka-MS Teams ka rin naman. It defeats the purpose. You have to collaborate, you have to meet face-to-face with the people, kahit na naka-mask kayo, and then obviously exercising the safety protocols, kasi kung hindi magagalit yung aming safety officers dito, umiikot siya parate. And then it's basically the employee experience overall. So we do it, you see here, we're also doing Gallup. I'm a certified Gallup coach. By the way, I just got certified again. So learning doesn't end, right? Even if you're doing the things that you do, you still need to upgrade yourself as well to give back to the people that you are serving. Because if you notice, the productivity and mood of the people or your direct report, when you pay attention to their opinions and inputs, naiiba. If you dismiss the comments and then the inputs of those people, it's going to be difficult for you to implement something. So it's good also if the team is discussing new data and everyone gets the information. Again, communication will never be enough. Because if it's not considered at least, then the employee might feel bad. But it's better for the leaders to know how to navigate and tell the person what needs to be done. So every member of our group, of your group, obviously needs assurance that they know what's going on to the company. That's why it's relevant and important if you see all these factors, a lot of team meetings, virtual team meetings, a lot focus on development, career, karirin natin to. That's one of my favorite programs. Indicating to them that hindi lang pataas, pwede rin paside, pwede rin iba-ibang department, as long as we start doing something about it now, owning it. Hindi pwedeng lahat si HR, hindi pwedeng lahat si business, hindi pwedeng lahat si boss. It's also our accountability to upgrade ourselves. And then it's also good to have the data to show it, because there's no exclusion in this one. Everything and everybody has to be participative, because these are all their ideas as well. Recognition, again, is very important. So strengthen your leadership as well as the employee experience of your employee from the beginning that they have been hired, as well as when they exit your company. It pays well to be friends with somebody who's even left you. Okay lang yun, ganun naman talaga, di ba? I mean, there's certain part and portion of your career when you need to say goodbye, but sometimes they will tell you, I'll see you again sometime somewhere. In this one, so I like the saying basically because really crisis is a make or break moment. How would you want to be remembered as a leader talaga during this crisis? Kasi 44% lang yung naniniwala na kaya natin eh. Dahil, it's just difficult. Maybe they do understand that it's not just them, it's also everybody who's experiencing the crisis. But how many times, honestly, did 2020 surprise you? You surprised yourself that, oh my God, kaya ko pala. How many times did you do something you had initially said, hindi pwede to, it's not possible, or hindi ko to gagawin. But then it was. You did it. So I started dusting off my ukulele when the pandemic happened. Ang tagal-tagal nang wala. My forgotten hobbies, I started doing it again because you have to maintain, sabi nga natin, sanity is important, and I totally agree. You cannot give what you don't have again. So there are few lines, sabi nga, in the sand that really can't be redrawn or shifted a little. There are few absolutes that they don't offer any wiggle room. But to pivot during this pandemic is really important. And dramatic changes in the direction or schedule of your thing perhaps is very important to do as well. So crisis conditions made a shift into emergency gear, which gave us different capacities for change, ability to be flexible in many ways that we aren't normally comfortable, but we have done it. Sabi nga ni Simon Sinek, diba, crisis is a great revealer. We suddenly became this Superman, Superwoman. While we're going through this period of reflection and circumstances are evolving, engage your curiosity, please, and ensure that you and your team are considering many what-if scenario because it's not yet finished. Ask more questions, evaluate more possibilities, tread lightly with any conclusion rather than be definitive. Wala pong permanente ngayong mga panahon na to. So change is really inevitable. This makes it easier for us to keep an open attitude, to retain a student mindset. Sabi nga student, it's a lifelong learning thing. We have to keep on learning and recognizing that there's more important to learn. So in summary, leading through a crisis is more than managing usual events. So plan for different situations, ika nga. Plan A, B, C, D, hanggang kaya mo. Communicate is very important with all the stakeholders. I'm very happy that you put there Mancom supports you because that's very critical. Whatever that we're thinking, if we don't have a buy-in for the people who influences and makes that decision, then it will be tough for us, most especially us in HR. Look at crisis as an opportunity to learn, to grow, and transform. And then be proactive rather than reactive. And basically have it as an acceptance, I guess, that the game has changed, right? The world works differently. And now we have to make and be a catalyst of all this restriction. It might be tiring at times, is what we call it. We get tired too. I get tired too. But all I have to do is find that motivation to get up again, because there are people who needs us, who needs to be supported, like us as well. Hindi lang tayo nagbibigay, tayo rin binibigyan. And you only get that if you help other people. So that being open can feel as though nothing is certain and because we do have a lot of choices. As you do that, you build resistance and resilience when you reframe your situation and then choose to be positive in all the perspective. We are all in solid ground now, honestly. Alam na natin kung anong gagawin natin. So we should be looking ahead to new opportunities. Yes, there's more to learn. Kaya nga nandito si Ariva, di ba? For us to be taught, to gather data and discussion to have in order to be informed and make those very good decisions. And then last but not the least, in this dynamic times, guys, it is critical to be working flexibly with others to explore and figure out the right way forward. And again, thank you so much for being part of this morning's conversation. That ends my presentation. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you so much, Miss Alpha. Let's give her a round of applause, everyone. Thank you very much. Now we are opening the floor for questions. So we have a few minutes so that we can address your questions. Ayan. But I have here some questions already, Miss Alpha. Is that, if it's okay, I'll be reading them while we're waiting for the questions from our participants. Here goes. Let me read the first question. It was sent to us directly, so I won't be reading the name of the sender.
Sure.
Here's a question. How to manage people with low IQ and resistance to change, like following safety protocols for COVID-19? That's the first question.
Ang harsh, low IQ agad, ano ba? Ang sakit naman nun, te. I guess the first thing that we need to do is, find the root cause where that is coming from. When the pandemic happened and then when the vaccinations or the vaccines became available, nagtaka rin ako sa sarili ko na nung dati hirap siya, tapos nagkaroon siya, people were still hesitant to get it. So my initial reaction was, talaga lang, oh my God, may anak ka, may pamilya ka, ito na, libre na, binili ko na nga bumili na nga ako, Moderna na yung binili ko, ang mahal-mahal. Ayaw pa din. So then I went to the level of, I need to understand bakit. Diba? Then I started getting all those inputs from speaking to the employees na either it's because of their faith, religion, either because of medical condition, which is, by the way, acceptable, and either it's because of the family belief that, we don't need it because our body has the immune system and what have you. And I have to accept that fact. But they also have to accept that, some things would need to be done the right way. Like you don't, thank God nga naglabas na ng mga directives that, if you need to go out of and come to the office, you need to have yourself tested to protect yourself and to protect the people around you. Ang script ko na nga pabago-bago nung time na yun in 2021, 91% or 93% na pala ako. I was asking my OSH team. Meron pa rin ako 7%. So I have 12,000 more employees, right? I have 12,000 employees. So 7% of those employees, ayaw pa rin nila. So do I tag them as low IQ or not really following safety protocols? Ang script ko na lang parati doon is, kung ayaw mong alagaan ng sarili mo, can you just be someone who thinks of the other people around you? Because if it's not important for you, then it's important for others. If you really cannot do that, then you just have to stay home or be well protected para walang makahawa kayo. So I guess it's going to the root cause. Short answer is go to the root cause. Bakit ba? Ano ba? Ano po ba? Ano ba talaga, besh? Bakit ayaw mo? Bakit ganito tayo? Diba? Tanungin natin sila. Then maybe from there, we can address the situation more clearly rather than, like initially, sabi nga nila, we suffer more in our imagination than in reality. Kung may dahilan naman pala, then let's do address that.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Miss Alpha. Okay, yes, we're welcoming questions also here in the chat box, but I would like to invite everyone to please turn on their cameras, even during the Q&A portion, so that we can really interact with all of you. For those of you who are able to turn on their cameras, please do so. Let us go to the question here in the chat box. This one was again sent to us directly, so I'll keep the sender anonymous. If yung HR ba hindi na na-appreciate ng mga tao niya, do you think dapat na siya mag-resign? How can the HR know na hindi na siya gusto ng mga tao niya? Heavy questions ang ating mga...
Ano ba to? Pang Valentine's. Dapat Valentine's to may Valentine's training ka ba? Parang ako yung Valentine's program nito. Sabi sa, parang feeling ko tuloy sa Ate Charo ako.
May mga hugot po.
Oo, may hugot talaga So, I guess it goes to the first topic that we had, yung trust, psychological safety. Ito yung problema natin mga Pinoy, Ang hirap sabihin face-to-face, kahit virtual, mas worse. Even sa phone, mas worse, na it's not, parang not working, it's not working. However, before you even say that, babalik ulit ako na bakit, di ba? Ano yung, saan nanggagaling? Dati mas madali siyang, prior pandemic, honestly, it's so easy to point out the gaps of the person. What I've learned during this pandemic, maraming pinagdadaanan yung bawat isa sa atin, personally and professionally. You don't, unfortunately mahirap i-diagnose ang mental health or mental sickness or wellness, rather. Hindi mo rin alam na, oh my God, may anxiety na pala ako. And then that unfortunately translates to me not performing. Maybe ang unang tanong is, nagpa-perform ba dati yung taong to? Tapos suddenly nagbumaba. then alam mo na, di ba? May ano to, may something. So kung hindi siya nagsasabi sa'yo, then find that person or environment that the person can tell you. Now, if you cannot address it, that talagang hindi na nagpa-perform si HR, ano ba to, payroll ba to? Hindi nagpapasweldo ng tama? Kasi maano yung hugot, no? I cannot say for sure eh. I cannot really advise for sure because the question is very vague for me. If well, I'm in LinkedIn, I'm in ano, you can ask the question directly to me. So I can advise you one way or the other how to handle it. Pero ako, pag may low performer kasi ako sa team ko or dun sa manager, maybe because I've worked a long times overseas and I've been exposed to people talking candidly. Alam nila yon from the very beginning na very candid ako. I say it as it is. Parang ako hindi Pinoy eh. Walang paligoy-ligoy. Basta sasabihin ko na, alam mo Kate, I need to talk to you. But typically, my strategy is to always ask questions. Kate, anong palagay mo sa ganito? Kate, bakit ganito? Puro ganon. You open yung question, open-ended. Wag yung, Kate, hindi ka nagpa-perform. Hindi tanong yun eh. Sinasabi mo na eh. Hindi mo pa tinatanong, di ba? So, have that open-ended conversation, open-ended conversation, and then try to address it as you go along. But do your groundwork muna, honestly, kuya. Lalo na kung HR yan, sana alam mo kung ano yung nasa likod ng tinatrabaho niya or nung tao. The circumstances, I guess, would definitely help you to better at empathy nga, di ba? Have that empathy to the person. It's tough, but you have to find what you need to find out.
Okay, thank you for that. Another heavy question that was sent to us directly. How will you lead your team well if you are in a state of pain, like a lost family member, and you can file leave of absence because of urgent submittals?
Best way to do it is to have the best people around you. Mayroon at meron dadating eh. But if you are supported and surrounded by people who can do at least a bit of your job when you need to go on leave. Kaya ko nga tinawag yung wellness leave eh. That wellness leave kasi is heavy because that also tells you to be responsible, that before you take that wellness, somebody will not get sick because you took the wellness. Sa sobrang hirap at stress dahil wala ka. So it's literally trusting more people and giving bits and pieces of the job that you do so that you can take time off. And you deserve it. We all deserve it. Sabi nga, di ba, self-love. I call my Friday, by the way, self-love. So me being with Ariva right now, why can I do this? Because I have self-love Fridays. I ask my teammates to do and help their community to learn and share the learnings. So yun siguro yung pinaka importante. May taong sasalo sa'yo kung you need to take a break for quite some time. If it's a day, I'm sure hindi naman magsasarado yung kumpanya nyo kung wala ka ng isang araw. Unless you're the CEO, ay kahit hindi rin eh. Parang dito nga, di ba, yung CEO pwede magbakasyon, pero pag nagbakasyon si ate, yung nag-check dito ng aming safety security, parang nagpapanik ako dahil siya yung pinaka-importante dito sa office. So pwede kung sa pwede, but again, you have to have people around you who can help you. And you have to have that conversation with your boss that you need help because you're in pain. And it's not an excuse, but it's the reality. You just have to have that difficult conversation and courage. So courage to say what you need to say.
Yes. Wow. Thank you so much for that. Okay. Let's move on to the next question. This was sent in our chat box by Nicole. Well, it's actually marami sa kanila na very similar yung question. So let's just read the answer, the question of Nicole that will pertain na rin sa mga questions ng other participants natin. Here's the question. What if the leader himself is not open to change, is not transparent to us specialists? What can we do to influence him?
Ayaw magbago ni boss? Ganun ba?
Yes.
Alam mo, may tanong ako parati dyan eh. Na, di ba sabi nga nila, sometimes you project what you are as well with other people. Siya ba yung ayaw o ikaw? Kasi, di ba, may ganun perspective eh. na ito kasi hindi nagbabago, but, pero sa'yo, sa sarili niya, ito na to, ito na yung kailangan kong gawin eh. Maybe the thing there, the thing that, stops these two people from trusting each other is basically, akala ko yun eh. Kasi parati tayong sinasabi ng mga Pilipino, maling akala. Ang daming namamatay sa maling akala. Akala ko, sabi mo ganito. Hindi naman pala. So back again, the instruction has to be there. And obviously, since you're the one leading the team, then you have to be more responsible in making sure that that is right. But the employee, the direct report, that should not stop you to to validate also the understanding. Don't be afraid to say na hindi mo naiintindihan. Dahil pag hindi mo naiintindihan, tas ginawa mo yon, mali ka rin. Pag hindi mo naiintindihan, nagtanong ka dun sa boss mo, tapos iba yung sinabi ng boss mo sa'yo, or worse, sabi sa'yo ng boss mo, oh my God, hindi mo naiintindihan, Alpha, ano ba? Low IQ, si low IQ yung unang tanong, Then you already know the character of your boss. Na hindi pala siya willing to tell you. Pero again, wala namang mawawala sa'yo kung magtatanong ka, kung hindi mo siya naiintindihan, di ba? So it's better to validate it, to ask, rather than to assume. And again, sabi ko nga, we suffer more in our minds versus the reality. Baka mamaya hindi lang pala kayo nagkaintindihan. Then eventually, you know what to do na next, and it's easier for you na.
Okay, thank you for that. Next question, again sent to us directly. Paano po ang approach ng employee na dating jolly, then naging hindi na palakibo at nagpa-participate na lang kapag kinocall na yung attention niya, or sasabihan mo siya na magsalita? Nabibigyan ba ng memo yung ganon? Kahit pagdating naman sa work, walang problema kasi nagagawa niya on time at never naman siyang na-late.
Ano bang trabaho ng taong yun para hindi kumibo? Kung siya yung in charge sa employee engagement nyo, then may problema tayo, besh. hindi to hindi normal. Pero kung ang trabaho niya is basically administrative work and then hindi siya nagpa-participate sa meeting, back again let's use the quality of the Pinoys, the very, very good trait of the Filipinos na lahat kinaiinggitan, which is called malasakit. Pag nakikita mo na ganon at hindi siya normal na ganon, then somebody has to intervene. Kasi baka mamaya may something na yung tao na yon. Hindi naman sa sobra tayong marites, pero ganon talaga tayo. Diba? Marites talaga tayo. Gusto natin nalalaman ano nangyayari. But if that will help, you know what's going on with a person, then better do it. Now, namememohan? No. If sa akin I'm not sure about your company policies, by the way, so disclaimer. Kami, very results-oriented si company. So we do more on the results, but obviously we also need to know what's the person going through. Kung nakakapag-deliver nga ng result, but they can deliver more, but suddenly they're not, then something is wrong. Pero it has to be very objective. When you say memo kasi sa akin, it means that it has to be on paper that the person is not performing. Then you do. So I'm working for Home Credit Philippines, mga ate, mga kuya. Yun po yung aming kumpanya. Nag-apply ka ba? So, tatanong na siya kung saan. Yun yung siguro na kailangan gawin. Masyado mabigat yung memo for not just participating. Again, it's not something that I would encourage the leader to do because it's not necessary. All it needs is a conversation. Mahirap mag-English pag nagsulat ng memo. So ayoko naman ganyan. So might as well I'll talk to you na lang instead of writing you up.
Okay, we have another question sent to us directly. Here's the question. What advice can you give someone who is new to the team, has not met the team in person yet, has to manage this team to be able to meet deadlines and management expectations? Wow.
It's difficult talaga. We have literally onboarded more than 2,000 plus employees in 2021, virtually. Some 100 plus managers, virtually. Even my direct reports. So I have 3 direct reports who are fairly new. I call them my pandemic hires. they only met their direct reports dito sa office, I think, latter part of 2021 when the restrictions were lifted up. I had encouraged that. Siguro ang advantage is, di ba sabi nga, the leaders are role model. I come to the office kasi I live in Bacoor, Cavite. And then I work here in BGC. So I come here at least twice or thrice. So if they want to see me, alam nila kung nasan nila ako hahanapin. So I think it transcended down to my direct reports na ganun din yung attitude. And then alam na nung mga teammates ko na ganun yung kalakaran kahit hindi ko sabihin na safe ako, walang sakit yung pamilya ko. Basta nasagot ko ng yes, yes, yes yung ang tawag dito, yung tanong ng safety protocols, then I can come to the office. So when I do that, then it's better at least to meet the teammates once a month kung hindi talaga kaya. Kasi iba pa rin talaga yung face-to-face eh. And a very intensive virtual onboarding. So iba yung virtual onboarding program namin versus the typical. So we had literally, again, revamped the work process kasi naiintindihan namin na it will be tough for the managers to manage a team that he hasn't or she hasn't established trust yet or relationship even worse. And it takes time. So kailangan talagang magkita kahit na nakamask kayo for us to do that. So please work with your HR in terms of the virtual onboarding program na alert 2 na tayo di ba sa NCR. So technically pwede nang magpunta sa office if you have offices na okay puntahan. Dahil it should have been an expectation even during the hiring process that, one way or the other, like si Home Credit, hybrid kami. Hybrid tayo. So they know they will have to come to the office one way or the other. And that, again, is the discretion of the boss and depending on the people's circumstances.
Okay, next question. Another difficult question na parang medyo marami ako nakikita. Nagbabago lang sila ng salita. The question from Romel is it really difficult to handle people? But it's very similar to a direct question that we received. How to deal with pabebe employees?
Alam mo, marami rin ako niyan. Pero we have to, embrace the diversity and leverage the talent. The person, obviously, diba, I call my diversity as different individuals valuing each other regardless of intellect, skills, talent, or years. Diversity yon yung acronym niya. Meron talaga. Pero, first question, kuya, kung pabebe pala, bakit mo hinar? Kung hindi pala siya swak doon sa trabaho. Pero I'm sure, hindi mo siya nakitang ganon, di ba? It's all about the skills assessment and all. So, iba-iba kasi yung ibig sabihin ng pabebe, di ba? Ibig sabihin, high maintenance ba to? Ayaw-ayaw ba to? Then maybe the person's not yet ready for the role or the person needs to be, again, reacquainted in your boarding thing. Honestly, sa mga recruiters natin, just be point blank transparent, tell the person what the person is going to expect, especially during this pandemic. Gone are the days that you have to sell the good and the fluffy things that your company has. It has to be very definitive. And the employees also, or the candidates rather, will have to ask that. It's quite tough. So unless a person doesn't deliver, kuya, you have your disciplinary action or performance management for sure. But if the person is delivering, it's just that ganun talaga si ate, then leverage that, isama mo sa anong mga programs mo for the youth or for the young. Ibigyan mo na CSR sa community program. Kung pabebe pala siya, sabi nga, di ba, kung may anak ka masyadong spoiled, expose mo pa. Dati pwede yun ngayon, unfortunately. Di ba, yung, for sure, ikaw, Kate, kung medyo spoiled si kuya, dadalhin mo yan sa mga underprivileged kids, right? For him to appreciate what he has and what the mother is giving him, for them to realize it. And kung may paganon, maghanap ka ng way na para malaman niya na hindi po pwede yung mga pabebe ngayon. Kasi it's not stable for her or for the person, and the job that the person will do eventually.
Okay, wow, that was very helpful. Thank you. Okay, here. Another question. Here, one moment. Uh, this one is from Eileen. Oh, here, I'm sorry, first. From Alan first. How to educate or manage people to all the safety measures taken by, but they keep on resisting. Okay, so how do you manage your employees of all the safety measures, but they're resisting it?
Alam mo, fortunately, wala naman kaming ganyang ganap. Kasi the moment that you go out of your house, naka-face mask ka na eh. Dati nga naka-face shield ka pa, di ba? And then in the office, we had put directions na anong silya yung pwede, may mga X yung hindi, 2 meters. And then sabi ko nga, may safety officers na umiikot, who happens to be our security detail dito. Umiikot talaga siya. Then we call the person off. And fortunately, because majority of the people follows it, so yung outlier, itong mga pasaway, mapapressure sila to follow, or else they will have to leave the premises. And maybe because our offices are in a building, so the moment that you go out of your house, the moment that you step into the building pa lang, ando na yung safety protocols. And then when you get up to the floor where home credit is, then meron ulit kaming check. So if the person is not following, then magigilty na lang siyang mag-isa kung may mga pagganon. Well, ngayon, sabi si Alpha nasa office daw, tapos walang face mask. May nasa room po ako. Ako lang po ang nandito. Kasi kung hindi, kung nasa labas po ako, yari ako dun sa security. So the reason why I can afford to have no face mask is because I'm inside a room where I am only one person. So yun po. I think it's the pressure of more people thinking about the safety protocols, and that person who's not following must be pressured enough. If not, then we do have, again, call-outs, and kasama po yun dun sa disciplinary action po namin ng safety protocols.
Yes, and I think it's really impractical to still resist yung safety measures because one, it's being implemented all over. Hindi lang naman sa offices eh. And pwede ka nang hulihin, yan, nasa labas ka, you're not wearing your face mask.
Correct. Mahal pong magkasakit mahal magkasakit. So, kaya nga yung wellness namin para doon sa mga nabakunahan eh. Malakas ang loob ko kasi 90% na sila. So, para lang ma-pressure yung 7% ko na, sayang naman pinag-combine ko na yung sick leave mo kasi nga gusto ko magamit mo yun to take a break and schedule it ahead of time so your boss will have it. So, and then yun nga, we provide the vaccines for our employees eh. So, they don't really have an excuse na wala kasi meron. Ayaw lang nila pa. So hopefully magbago yung ganong thinking na.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's move on. This one is from Eileen, how to deal with other department heads or directors who are intimidating and always bluff. Always bluff others' opinions and recommendations. Parang binabara siguro yung opinions and recommendations.
How do you handle ba yun?
How do you deal with other department heads or directors? So
meron talagang ganun. Diba? It's a fact of life. Kahit saan company ka pumunta makakamit ka nun ng ganung klaseng tao. So back again to yourself. How do you manage those difficult conversations? How do you and I'm sure Ariva has those training, negotiating skills, navigating difficult situations or difficult conversations. Try to learn how to do it. And it's only by being two things. You're brave enough or courageous enough to take on those difficult conversations with your department heads. And then second is you have to be you have to be humble. That sometimes what you thought was fantastic, itong wellness leave ko, back again, it took me almost 18 months to get my department heads, 10 of them, to say yes to me. Hindi ako tumitigil. I just go back, okay, let's change into the drawing board. Paano ulit natin to ipipresent? How do we do the case study? Let's give them all the data. And it's really difficult. And for me, it's understanding of, baka naman may pinagdadaanan, una, may dahilan kung bakit ganon yung perception. Then, tatanungin ko, bakit? Diba? Why is it like that? Kung parating binabara, then okay, then tell me. So if I'm not doing my job right, or you have another idea, then tell me what it is. Then if after that, so let's run by it. plan A, and then let's run by mine, and then integrate it together. So that's how, again, it's difficult conversations kasi, because there will be people. I have 5 foreigners in my ManCom and 5 locals, which I'm fortunate enough because it was 9 foreigners and 1 Pinoy before. Now we're half and half. We even have 5 female in the ManCom and then 5 male. So very good yung mix ng ManCom or ExCo as we call them in our company. So it's easier for me, I guess, as an HR head to navigate towards those. I do have quite a number of those difficult conversations, but all I have to do is to understand and then compromise eventually. It pays to lobby as well, quote unquote. Before I go to a bigger meeting, I usually go one by one to all my dep heads and tell them what my idea is for the employees, because it's affecting them. Hindi lang naman to HR, di ba? Dapat sama-sama for me to sell it to the employees as well and for them to take it. So yun po. Learn the skills for sure. It will take time. It's not easy. But there's a lot of way to do it, and Ariva is one. Kaya mo na yan, di ba, Kate?
Yes, we can help you with that. Just give us a call or send us an email, and we'll check out our website also, ariva.com.ph, so you can check the programs that can help you. Ayan. Also, for those of you who would like to ask a question directly to Miss Alpha, you can do that. Click the raise hand, and we'll allow you to unmute your mic so you can ask your question live. Okay, in the meantime, we're waiting for you. Here's our next question. Will hybrid work environment be here forever?
Parang. Kasi well, again, I'm going back to the premise of we do hybrid for most of our employees, but for some roles, kailangan nilang permanently nandun sa work site. So may 3 classifications na kami. Those that needs to be on site, like our sales advisors who are in the shopping malls, our collectors who are in the field, our call center employees who needs to be in the office because of, again, the home infrastructure is not able to support yung internet nila, mahina. Unfortunately, may ganung areas pa rin tayo sa Philippines, diba? Dead signal sila. And then we do have those remote workers. We have foreign talents who are in the respective countries supporting us, working and doing what they need to do. And then we obviously have this hybrid. So like myself, I do a combination of being here in the office if I do have meetings face-to-face with some of our employees. And then I do work from home every now and then as well. So it will depend on the role again and on the person's circumstances. But I see that it has worked for us in home credit by far, and so far naman no issues. So it's always focused on the roles and the circumstances rather than the setup. So there's no one size fits all. Even if I say hybrid, I transcended that back to the respective dep heads. So each of the dep heads has the leverage, has the empowerment to execute what type of work arrangement their respective employees need. So as HR guidelines lang kami, and then the options, and then the dep heads would be the ones to choose and execute based on what the employees' needs and the business needs obviously are.
Okay, next question. Okay, another direct message. Good day. I would like to ask if HR should be a pro-employee or pro-company, as most guidelines from IATF do not apply for special people.
Like all of us, I guess, we're kind of confused as well. Every time that we do have directives by IATF. So in HR, sa amin, it's neither. It's hindi siya pro-employee, hindi siya pro-company. It's both. So kaya nga medyo heroes ang tawag, di ba? We have to balance both. Immortal, may mga superpowers si HR. So it has to be a balance of both. And it's us looking at different regulations. May IATF, may LGU, may DOLE, may DOH. I mean, that's a fact of life. May BSP pa kami. So kasi we are a BSP regulated company. So there's a lot of regulations that we look at. Fortunately, we have a very good legal department who helps me navigate through it. Basta ang priority, ang goal is, safety is our priority for our employees. Yun. So, and what would it take for us to balance both? Then that's what we had to do. So there's no one size fit all talaga.
Yes. Okay. Next question. Here. What could be the right approach for us to tell our manager that he or she needs to step up? Our manager has been slacking since pandemic, and we always do the groundwork and executions. He or she does not live up to his title position.
Ang lakas ng hugot. Oh, Diyos ko. Ano ba to? May NPS ba kayo? Meron ba kayong employee survey? Sana meron. Or may 360 feedback ba kayo? Baka pwede nyo i-suggest. Kasi we did have, hindi naman kami perfect, no? So we do have those types of situation also. So what we did back then was to have a 360-degree feedback for specific roles. So para lang hindi ma-single out si employee na yon, we did that per department across lahat ng levels na kapareho nun. Who influences, who leads a team of quite a number of people at medyo may ganyang character. So ang ginawa namin was 360 nga, and then we let the person concerned choose sino, kasi peer 360, di ba? So peer, friends, ganon, direct reports. So we asked the person to give names, and we did. And then we did ask several people who's working under him. And then after nun, we got the result, and then we shared it with him since it's anonymous, right? So it's anonymous, so we shared it with him in terms of the developmental gaps or skills. So ano namin yon sa HR. So we do have a group that we call People, Culture, and Development who takes care of those things, and to have those initial conversation with the person. And we also have people partners, by the way, or HR BP ang tawag sa iba, but for us we call them people partners, who looks at those results and speaks to those stakeholders. Dahil baka mamaya blind spots na yon. Dahil yun yung na-experience ng tao niya, hindi niya alam. I mean, benefit of the doubt, di ba? So that's what we do. So 360 would be a good way to tell the person without telling the person directly ano yung gaps. And then an intervention would be better kung may mediator who happens to be your neutral ground. That's your people partner or your PCD or people and culture or learning and development for some companies. Ang pwedeng mag-support or mag-help sa inyo kung kailangan malaman ni boss kung ano yung nararamdaman ninyo.
Okay, here's our next question. How do you manage older people or someone who is senior in service from you when you're a junior employee?
I think when you say manage ba, boss mo ba yan o direct report mo ba yan? Di ba? Kasi iba yung management eh. But sa atin kasi, this pandemic, di ba, technology platforms are in the rise. So may gaps doon dati. And then suddenly, lahat natututo na. So if that's one thing of leveraging you being junior but knowing more in terms of technology, then why not use that as an icebreaker for you to have that relationship with a senior person? Kasi ngayon, di ba, na-experience natin na almost 2 years na. Some of the things that we did, ako nga fortunate kahit nasabihin pa na, I'm the pandemic HR head who became the HR head when this lockdown happened. Walang blueprint Lahat ng mga kaibigan ko na HR was like, hindi naman alam alpha kung anong gagawin natin. So sama-sama kami, ano bang gagawin natin, di ba? But they're coming from different companies, by the way. So it's a blank sheet that we have. So kahit gaano pa siya ka-senior, the relevancy of the seniority or the tenure suddenly becomes blur kasi all of us are in the same plane. Siguro lamang lang if it's the boss, dahil may title na siya, but otherwise, in terms of what we can put on the table, can be appreciated regardless of how young or how old you are in the organization. The fresher it is nga sa akin, the better Wisdom, obviously, it helps, but sometimes having fresh ideas or value coming in from a new person or from a junior person is also being appreciated. And that's better for us. Nagti-TikTok na nga kami. So sabi nyo nga na mga pasaway, ano yun, tinitiktok namin siya para makarelate doon sa mga alaga namin. Wellness leave, tiniktok ko rin yan para makita nila. So bigla kaming naging 200, siguro 300,000 na yata yung followers ng Home Credit sa TikTok because of those initiatives. So we really look for platforms that the message would be able to get through them. Not just Facebook, so all the platforms that we can. So yun po, yung mga ganun siguro technology that you can teach the senior person, and for sure kailangan nila yon, kailangan natin yon, then you can start doing that kind of bridge para may ma-share ka naman din sa kanya kahit junior ka pa lang.
Okay, thank you. Ayan, meron palang TikTok ang Home Credit. You guys can follow it. Follow their TikTok account if you have your TikTok accounts. Ayun. Okay, moving on to the next question. Okay, this one is from Emmanuel. What can you advise on a scenario where the pressure gets into your head? Superiors are drowning you, and that's affecting your mental health.
Take a break, kuya. Sabi nga, diba, have a KitKat. Kahit sa meeting, so if I have meetings, so when the pressure gets into, say, akin, so personally into my head, and I have to do a lot of things for the people, and you have to take care of yourself. I mean, that's the first rule. You have to take care of yourself first. How can you take care of others if you cannot? Diba sa aeroplano nga, yung oxygen pag bumagsak, hindi naman dun sa anak mo sa'yo muna. Tapos dun sa sa loved ones mo. So you have to be the first one to take care of yourself for you to be able to take care of others. Pag may mga meeting ako that I know I will not be presenting, I will not be using any slides, I normally take it with audio, and then I go out and walk while I'm listening or I'm speaking to the person. Kung mag-uusap lang kami, gagawin ko yun. Then I have to start walking or take a break. Mag-set ka ng alarm. Nag-set ako ng alarm. After an hour, I have to stand up and then walk. And then just, meditation helps. I meditate at least 5 minutes a day. I meditate before I start working. I meditate after I work. And just, sabi nga, diba, inhale blessings and then exhale all the worries that you have. And it helps, honestly. So it has to be like that. You have to really find ways, surround yourself with things or with people that makes you happy and motivated. That does a lot of things as well for me personally.
Thank you for that. Anyone who would like to ask a question directly, please click the raise hand button so we can allow you. We still have a few minutes left. So we're down to our last few questions. Here is another question. How do you handle disagreements between your employees, which are both in work from home arrangement?
Mahirap. Kasi actually, pareho din naman eh. Kung isipin nyo mahirap din kung face-to-face. Nagawa nyo ba yun? Na pinagharap nyo sila? I'm sure it took a while also for you to think on how to do it. But I normally do it if I can, especially if the conflict is already affecting the others, not just them. Kung sila lang, I would just intervene one-on-one. I don't normally put them all together with me. Kasi malalaki na tong mga to eh. Most of my the people that I have are meaning they have been in the work industry or in working for like 5+ years now. So I would understand if they address it with the both of them, but I would do intervention one after the other. If it's a possibility for us to see each other in the office, then I do that as well. Only if both of them are comfortable. Because I never want to surprise any of them because that will lose trust to me as well as to the baka lumala pa. Baka mamaya ako na yung kaaway, sila na yung magkakampi. So I would rather take permission from them on, how do they want to move forward. When people comes to you and tell them that problema ko tong si Kate, hindi na naman ako sinunod. Tapos sabihin naman ni Kate, ito nga si Irish, hindi rin sumusunod. So you will lose trust if they start, fighting over something that you can address them as a boss. So might as well speak to them one-on-one. And then if they are confident to face with you being present, then even better. If they don't want and they're not comfortable, then just let them thresh it out unless yun nga, if it really does affect the goals or the targets of your company, then that's a time that I would personally say that, kayong dalawa, kakausapin ko kayo sabay. Then it is what it is. But otherwise, I would trust that they would do the conversations themselves.
Okay, thank you. And I think this is our last question. Here's the question. What are the factors we need to focus on in building an effective team in this hybrid work environment?
I'm sorry again, Kate.
What are the factors we need to focus on in building an effective team in this hybrid work environment?
I guess it's first and foremost, ako, again, back again to me speaking based on my experience, no? The trust that you have gained in 2020, don't lose it. What do I mean by it? Hindi naman tayo work from home dati, suddenly we're work from home. And you were able to deliver, for sure. We were able to deliver kahit na hindi kami nakikita-kita. So the trust that we had established during that difficult time, crisis, diba? Sabi ko, crisis is a great revealer. When we had to do business optimization during that time, it was very tough. I was even, to the point of crying and being, ganito ba talaga yung nangyayari? So I was out of the country for a long time, diba? And Home Credit was my first company. Is my first company after coming back. So one is the trust that you have to establish. And if you did during the 2020, please don't, in 2021, please don't lose that. Second is, as you did establish that trust, then obviously the people are now more open in terms of doing what needs to be done. Hindi na pwede na, ito kasi yung sinabi. No, I think I changed most of my policies, if not half of it, when this pandemic happened. Binago namin lahat yun. We had to review everything. So second is obviously having those committed people who's welcoming change and being excited to be relevant. I guess that's the second thing. The third thing is obviously the support of your ManCom, your ExCo, your higher management in terms of making this work. Kasi kung pwede naman, bakit hindi, di ba? The situation calls for it, then we have to do what we have to do. And you will need to prove it. And last but not the least, I guess it's really being able to have that courage, that conversation of the things that needs to be done, that needs to work, that needs to be changed. Then it's up to you. Kahit hindi ka boss, if you're not a boss, if you have a boss on top of you, that should not stop you from speaking up and from saying. Wala naman pong, again, babalik ulit ako dun, so wala namang mawawala. And I always tell this to my people. Ikaw yung magsasuffer kung ibabattle up mo lang kasi hindi mo sasabihin. So those, I guess, four things makes it effective for me and for my team to be doing this hybrid work.
Okay, wow. Thank you so much. We answered a lot we know we still have a lot of questions left here in the chat box, but we don't have enough time. I'm very sorry for that. But Miss Alpha answered a lot of questions. Maraming salamat for sharing your wisdom. I've seen some comments a while ago that you were really very generous though in sharing your wisdom. So thank you so much for sharing on how our companies, these individuals can thrive here in this changing landscape. So maraming salamat, Ms. Alpha. And because of that, we would like to award this certificate. Let me just show it. There, let me read it. Ariva Academy, Learning Development at its finest, gratefully presents the Certificate of Appreciation to Alpha Omega Aquino for generously sharing her professional expertise, invaluable knowledge, and wisdom to the delegates of successfully managing people, team dynamics in a hybrid work environment. Held on February 4, 2022 via Zoom platform. Signed by J.M. Atienza, Chairman and Chief Strategist, Learning Event Producer, and Michelle Irish Malonda Samson, President and Chief Learning and Development Strategist. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause for our speaker, Ms. Alpha.
Thank you. Maraming salamat, Kate and Ariva. Thank you so much. Baka nakikita niyo yung half ng shirt ko nakalagay no. Ang baba po nito nakalagay, hashtag po namin doon sa home credit, no small roles. Everyone is important. Yan po yung parating yung, yan ang aming value proposition. So baka kasi nakita nakalagay no. No small roles. Everyone is important. That's how we want everybody to think po of our company. Again, maraming salamat din sa mga tanong, ang hihirap, sa mga hugot. Happy Valentine's and happy Valentine's. And thank you for indulging me and being engaged dun sa chat. Ang bibilis mag-chat. Maraming salamat. You literally made the most out of this a couple of hours with me and with Ariva, obviously. And I do hope to see you again in some of the learning sessions that Ariva will offer. Maraming salamat again, Kate.
Thank you so much, Miss Alpha. Wow, really, even our participants, maraming salamat. Now, I would like to invite everyone to join us for this group photo. So please turn on your cameras if you're able to. Let's have a group photo. And we will be assisted by our technical director, Jeff. Hi, Jeff.
Hello. Thank you so much, Miss Kate. So guys, please enable your camera before we start for the group picture po. So let's wait for the others.
Yes, there is.
Okay, we encourage everyone participation here. So don't be shy, guys. Minsan lang po to. Yes, ang next free po namin on March 30 na.
We hope we get to see you guys there also.
Okay. Okay, I think we're good na. Okay, get ready, guys. And 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, thank you. Isa pa po. Okay, one more. This time, let's do a hand heart naman po. Give me some love. Okay, and 3, 2, 1, smile. Thank you. Back to you, Miss Kate.
Thank you so much, Jeff. And in behalf of everyone from Ariva Academy, maraming salamat for joining us on this fabulous and fantastic Friday. You made it all very productive. Thank you so much. We're wishing you all the best. Please, let's all keep safe, take care of each other, take care of our loved ones. And we are hoping to welcome you again in our future learning events. Maraming salamat. Enjoy the rest of the day. God bless you all. Thank you.
Broader look at today's business.